Parrots are carnivores, and a Viking named an entire country wrong on purpose, and it worked so well that around 56,000 people still live there because of it. Both completely real, both completely documented. Both sound like a 12-year-old made them up for a history essay. Let's go.
Let's go.
When you picture a parrot, you think colorful, annoying, Pirates of the Caribbean. Maybe it yells your name. Maybe it asks for a cracker. What you do not think is bloodthirsty apex predator. In the mid-1860s, sheep farmers in New Zealand's South Island started noticing something deeply wrong with their flocks. Sheep were turning up dead or dying, lower backs torn open, organs exposed, no trace of any known predator. No wolf, no big cat, nothing. For years, some scientists thought it was a disease. But then, in 1868, a shepherd named James MacDonald did what anyone with half a brain and a sleep disorder would do. He stayed up all night watching his flock. And at some point in the dark, a kea, a species of parrot found only in New Zealand, landed on the back of a live sheep, dug its long, curved beak through the wool, and started eating the fat deposits near the animal's lower spine, while the sheep was alive. The current scientific consensus is that because keas are so intelligent, genuinely one of the smartest birds on the planet, some individuals simply figured out that sheep have fat under their wool and sheep can't defend their backs. It's a learned behavior. Not every kea does it, but enough of them did that it became a real, documented phenomenon. Here's what makes this insane. Out of the 400+ species of parrots that exist, almost all of them are herbivores. Occasional insects, sure, but hunting live animals bigger than themselves? Almost unheard of. The kea is one of the only parrot species ever documented doing this, and scientists took literally 130 years to believe it. In 1962, nearly 100 years after the first sighting, an animal specialist named R.J. Jackson finally looked into it and concluded the sheep were probably already dead or sick, and the bird was just scavenging. It wasn't until August 1992 that the first video footage of keas attacking healthy sheep was captured at night, 130 years after the first documented sighting. The footage confirmed what farmers had been saying forever. The kea deliberately targets the lower back of the sheep to access fat deposits, using its beak like a surgical tool. In most cases, it doesn't kill the sheep directly, but the infected wound usually does. The wildest part? This became a full political issue. Farmers started killing keas to protect their livestock. Scientists, who didn't believe farmers anyway, had the kea classified as a protected species in 1986. So now imagine, your sheep are being eaten alive by parrots, and you can't even do anything about it legally. That's not a horror movie, that's just Tuesday in New Zealand. Quick geography question. Why is Iceland called Iceland when it's actually pretty green? And why is Greenland called Greenland when 80% of it is covered by a permanent ice sheet? The answer is not Vikings were bad at geography. The answer is that someone did it on purpose. Specifically, one guy, one very calculated lie, and a surprisingly effective 10th century marketing campaign. Erik the Red was born in Norway around 950 AD. His dad got exiled from Norway. The sources say it was for manslaughter, and the family relocated to Iceland. Erik grew up there, got married, started a life. And then, in 982 AD, at age 32, he got exiled from Iceland, also for manslaughter. The apple really did not fall far from the tree. Instead of sulking, Erik used the exile to do something useful. He sailed west, toward an island he'd heard about, but nobody had successfully settled: Greenland. He spent 3 years there, set up a small colony on the southern tip, and when his exile ended, he went back to Iceland with one goal: recruit people to come with him. Erik knew Iceland wasn't the most appealing name for a place. So when he started pitching this new island, which was actually called Greenland, he leaned hard into the name. According to the Saga of Eirik the Red, he literally said,
"People would be more willing to go to a place if it had a good name."
So he called it Greenland, on purpose, to make it sound like paradise. And it worked. In 985 AD, Erik convinced 25 ships worth of people to follow him. 11 of those ships sank or turned back, and 14 still arrived. Those 14 ships were enough to start 2 major Norse settlements that survived for over 400 years. This man committed mass relocation fraud, and it worked. As for Iceland, why is it called Iceland if it's relatively green? Most historians believe it's because when Norse settlers first arrived, around 874 AD, they may have landed in winter and saw sea ice in the fjords. A parrot that invented sheep hunting. A Viking whose real estate fraud lasted 400 years. Both documented. Both sound made up. That's the point. Comment the one that broke your brain more. Part 2 exists if you want it.